So recently, I've talked to King Pimp, and there's this event that all the pimps in the world come together, in which is called the National Internationals Players Ball. Would you care to share a little bit about the Players Ball?
Once again, that is the one time of the year when pimping is recognized, and it is first of all an honor to even be there, let alone be nominated or invited. Yes, I will be there in full effect with a gang of all the baddest bitches you've ever seen in your life. I understand Bishop Don Magic Wand will be there as always. And a lot of other the pimpers that have been there, Pimping Ken and everybody else from around the way will be there. So we definitely will be in full effect. It's one of my favorite times of the year. I would recommend not to come if your pimping is not together, because a lot of niggas get their hoes knocked that night and find out you ain't really pimping. So understand if you real pimping and you real confident in your pimping, then come on down, be my guest. But if your hoe get knocked, your hoe get knocked. You know what it is. We know the game we play.
What exactly goes on in this Players Ball?
Oh shit, what doesn't go on? A lot of drinking, a lot of smoking, a lot of partying, a lot of mingling, a lot of business, a lot of things go on. Also would be a lot of talking, and a lot of pimps need to talk and discuss territory as business expands and you gain more holes, and everybody's in the same city and everybody's trying to get money. So to gain a peaceful solution to things, a lot of times we work things out at the Players Ball or whatever. It's a meeting of the minds. It's like God night. It's a lot of flexing going on. We're going to have our suits, our jewelry, our hoes, and money. It's just a good night overall.
Does any sex partake?
Absolutely. Lots of it. I'd imagine. I'd hope so, goddammit. And there's a lot of money being made, too. Shit, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. The pimping don't never stop.
Amongst other pimps and other hoes from other stables, do you guys cross or?
I would imagine that happens. That doesn't happen in my case. If a hoe from my stable fucks another pimp, then bitch, you are now his. That is really the way the game goes. Bitch, you have now chose up on another pimp. Bitch, you now belong to him. And there are going to be some choosing fees from the both of you, and that nigga's going to have to pay. Because this is the way the game goes, you know what I mean? So I do not indulge, personally. Now, if a nigga bitch wants to give me some pussy, this is a whole totally different thing. That means, once again, bitch, you chose up, you chose me. But you also have to work up to that privilege, bitch, because you are trying to gain the right to be the bottom hoe. You smell me?
I think if I were to bring up Pimp C's, one of Pimp C's most favorite lines is never fuck a bitch without a rubber. Never in the sheets, like it on top of the cover. Would you care to elaborate on that line?
That is one of the coldest lines ever, because it's true. Never fuck the trick without a rubber. We cannot sell a bad product, and she got to be a freak. She like it on top of the sheets. I mean, but that's just a real pimping right there. Shout out Pimp C, man. R.I.P. One of the greats, of course. You know what I mean? That line is just classic for so many reasons on so many different levels. But you have to be from pimping to understand it. I understand why it would throw you. You know what I mean? You look like the conservative type. You probably got a white girl at home. You don't really understand about how these hoes like to get fucked on top of the sheets and on top of the dresses and shit. That's the type of shit that tricks will pay for. You smell me? This is what we're talking about here. This is pimping 101. I'm here for you. I'm going to learn you.
What is your take on sugar-free?
Terrible rapper, great pimp. That's it. Horrible rapper, great pimp.
So he was a real pimp.
Real live pimping. I always say, nigga, you should just stick to keeping hoes in the streets. I mean, what the fuck are you trying to do, my nigga? You trying to go legit, I get it, but the rap just wasn't for you. But I get it, you know what I mean? I understand, he was trying to spit some of that linen and some of that knowledge, some of that pimping to the people, He just didn't really know how to put it together. He was always offbeat to me. I could never really get into it. Oh, but he could pimp a bitch from a mile away. I appreciate that. The man gave me one of my first hoes, put me in the game. I fell off like a bad bag of dough, put me in the game. And like I said, great pimp, horrible rapper.
Have you ever met Magic Don Juan?
I have.
How did that go?
That was awesome. That's one of the best days of my life. I see him every year at the Players Ball, you know, because he's always there. He's usually a judge or something, or he's always involved some type of way. Even though it's usually a brief moment in passing. It's usually, hey, pimping, how you doing? Good to see you, pimping. Keep it pimping, and we keep it pimping. I mean, that's usually about it. It's all a mutual respect thing, you know what I'm saying?
What would you say to a young man or a young female who wants to be a pimp?
Well, for the young man, I'd say, what you have to do first and foremost is give your bitch half the dick. She gets half the dick. You only put the head in. You get that bitch half the dick and tell her, bitch, when you do this and you do it my way, you can give all the dick. Then when you give her all the dick, then you got that bitch mine. Now, for the young lady, I say this. They gonna tell you that women can't be pimps. That's a goddamn lie. Now, you may have to work a little harder, but you can do it. You're gonna have to work a lot harder. Oh, but you can do it, but it's all about your grind and your gangster and your pimping. How strong is your pimping? You're going to have to be just as bold as the men. You're going to have to walk up on the bitch and say, hey, bitch, I see you misguided and undecided. You need knowledge. I'm here to provide it. Don't hide it, divide it. Just like that. You tell her just like that. You tell the bitch just like that. And she going to go from there. She either going to get with it, get right, or get left. That is it.
I recently interviewed another pimp. Not King Pimp, but it was another one. I won't say any names. 2 of his hoes ended up pregnant, and it wasn't by him.
That is just terrible. See, that's what happens when you don't have a leash on your hoes and somebody has knocked your bitch. See, what that meant was that them hoes had then chose up. And it was some choosing fees involved. And them hoes is out of pocket. Renegade is a motherfucker. Out of pocket. I hate renegade assholes. They fucking the game up. And the nigga, and I'm pretty sure it was another pimp that got the hoes pregnant. That nigga's just as fucking out of pocket. That mean he fucking all his bitches wrong anyway. That's the type of shit that fucks the game up. You know what I mean? You niggas out here selling bad product, fucking shit up for all of us. That's why cyber pimping is taking off. It's just that type of shit right there. And shit. With that being said, you gotta be careful with niggas like, what's the name? He want to start the little girls out at 14, 16 years old, but then turn around and getting hoes pregnant. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. That's not pimping. That is not pimping. That is irresponsible. That is a liability. That is not an asset. That is a liability. That is not pimping.
I recently studied a report that said Milwaukee is one of the most notorious known cities for sex trafficking.
Absolutely. You sound surprised.
Well,
You sound surprised.
not a lot of people around the world know about Milwaukee, let alone
Exactly.
even
That's
came
the
to
best
Milwaukee.
place to do pimping when it's low key and don't nobody know. Look, we got to remember, Milwaukee used to be a duck-off spot for all the gangsters. All the gangsters back in the day used to come from Chicago, Al Capone, everybody. There's a lot of pimping going on back then. You know, all through the Prohibition days and shit, and they weren't just moving goddamn in alcohol and robbing banks. There was fucking hoes and pimping hoes too. And we're talking about the mob and shit. All the motherfuckers used to hang out in Milwaukee, Kenosha, and everything, yes. Hell yeah, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, prohibition shit, goddamn it, Corona. I'm about to start selling alcohol again. I appreciate you motherfuckers. We're going back to prohibition days around this motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about. And pimping in every way, shape, and form possible. Goddamn it, if you can pimp anything, that's an addiction you can pimp. Alright? Motherfuckers have an addiction to sex, so you pimp it. People have an addiction to alcohol and drugs. I can pimp it.